We are now joined by UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. Israel, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. What's up? Hey. So I was just,
And your first question will come from Christopher Reed. Your line is open.
hey, Chris. Is mic on?
There we go. G'day, mate. How's things?
Very well, Chris. What's up? What's up?
G'day. Yeah, just wanted to chat with you about energies. Like you say quite often that, before a fight, you like to, I guess, gauge the aura of the guy you're fighting. You've obviously had a chance to do that with Paulo already. Just what did you pick up from that encounter in the hallway?
Yeah, he's insecure. That's a really good question, actually. He's insecure. I've said that. Like, that's why we're fighting each other. He was trying to make this whole narrative. He's always trying to clutch at straws because he wants to create something. But I'm like, fuck it. I don't like you. I'm at least honest about it. He doesn't like me. I don't like him. So yeah, we get to fight. But the energy in the hallway, like someone that you've been barking at behind the fence. When you see them, you've seen me. I've never barked at him. I've always just responded to him, but he's always reacted to me. So when he saw me in real life, what did he do? Submitted to me. I had him and Waleed giggling like little girls.
I know us media types are really hyping this fight up. How do you see it as? Do you see it as big a deal as it's sort of being made out to be?
I think the muscles fool everyone. The muscles and the whole flurries and fighting punching bags fools everyone. Everyone thinks like, oh, this is the biggest fight. I'm like, nah. Well, I already had the fight of the middleweight division, which was Kelvin Gastelum. I've already had the biggest fight in the middleweight division, crowd-wise, which was Robert Whitaker, badass knockout. But yeah, this fight's just gonna be a showcase. I'm gonna make it look easy. A lot of people are gonna be shocked by that.
And I heard you saying in the earlier media conference that you've already told Jared Cannonier that if he gets past Rob, then he'll be next. Was that like direct contact you had with Jared? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, I just DM'd him and I saw. 'Cause I followed him maybe last year, early this year sometime, and I followed him. Damn it, Mitch. Nah, I followed him on Instagram earlier this year sometime, and then I saw that he's always been reacting to my stories and showing me love and props and praises, and I'm just like, I've always known he's a good sort. He's of a good aura, but everyone. And yeah, I felt like there's no need to be bad blood to fight someone. He's been the dark horse of the division for so long, and it's just like, yeah, I look forward to challenges like that. Me and my coaches have had my eye on him for a while, and his resurgence at middleweight being proven to be a unstoppable force. Far.
Well, good, mate. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
So, Chris.
We'll take our next questions from Peter Carroll. Our line is open.
Hello, Izzy. How you doing?
Oh, what's up?
I'm just wondering. I was at the fight in Melbourne against Whittaker, and I thought that entrance was something that transcended the sport. It went on to, millions of hits all around the world. And now Dana has said he doesn't love them. Does that surprise you? The fact that he doesn't love these moments that seem to take on a whole new fan base for the sport and you.
No, not really. I mean, they did shut me down for UFC 234, the silver fight, when I became the main event. But when it was 243 and I was the main event and I was the headline, I told them I'm not doing this my way or no way. But yeah, I mean, preferences. Everyone has their preference, and I like what I like.
Is it safe to say without the crowd in attendance in Abu Dhabi, there probably won't be a similar festive kind of entrance, or do you have something up your sleeve for us?
No, I mean, for me, I'm focused on the fight. To be honest, I've always been focused on the fight. But without the crowd, I still had, this idea with Jet Li from Unleashed in my mind. The way he walked to the arena and then his trainer took the collar off him and unleashed him onto the opponent. I had that in mind. It doesn't have to always be something big. Like my last one's quite subtle. It was pretty big, but I didn't really do much. But yeah, little things, little things. But for me, I don't know. Whatever my ancestors like flowed through me, I might let it flow. But I'm telling you, I'm focused on this fight right now.
You mentioned Jared Cannonier just moments ago. We were speaking to Eugene just on Monday, and he was kind of looking at how the middleweight title picture could come together over the next few months. And if he said if Whitaker was to beat Cannonier, he might be next in line, and that could prompt you to maybe have a look at the 205 division. Is that something that could happen if Whitaker is the natural next contender?
He keeps like getting these ideas and not telling me about them. Let me see. Uh, I like middleweight. I don't need to move up in weight unless I want to showcase. But if Whitaker somehow destroys Cannonier and Anna says he's next in line, then he can get knocked out again for a third time.
Do you feel as though you are on the verge of transcending this sport like so few people have been able to do? Because it certainly feels that way for a lot of people like myself watching from a distance for such a long time.
Yes, the last fight was supposed to do that. The last fight was the big one because of the build up and the ESPN and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I needed a valley in my story, and that was my valley. And now it's time to rise again with the new Puma deal and everything that's going on. This is the time. This is going to shoot me into the next stratosphere.
And can I just finally ask about the billboard we saw in Nigeria? How does that feel to see that love coming from Africa as well? I know it means a lot to you.
Yeah, that's dope because it's not just one. It's like heaps, and there's even like in the malls those advertising boards that you walk by in the mall. There's heaps of them around, so it just shows the push that I'm getting over there, and I love it. And I love the fact that people from Nigeria always show me love. They always show me love.
Thanks so much, Izzy.
Well, we'll take our next question from Bruno Carvalho.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, what's up, Bruno?
Hey, and over the past 2 years has been a lot of trash talks between you and Paulo. And I would like to ask you how much is part of the show and how much is something personal between you two.
If you look at it, you can really ask yourself who's been doing the trash talking, who's been the one posting stupid memes that aren't even that creative, who's been the one posting videos and putting the effort into trying to create something. I just said I don't like the guy because I don't like his vibe. I don't like the way he looks, and I'm honest about it. It's not personal. He's always trying to create something, reason why he doesn't like me. He doesn't really have anything. But it just say I don't like him. I don't like this guy because I don't like him. But it's not. It's never personal. It is what it is. The difference is I get to settle it with him this weekend.
Okay, and my last question is about Anderson Silva is about to retire, and I know you are a huge fan of him. I would like to ask you how he inspire you your career in MMA and how it's important to you have the same title have that he had been.
So
Hi, you.
I can hear. Okay, I understand what you
Okay.
mean. Anderson Silva, yeah, he's the guy that I looked up to in this game, and I was um in awe for so long. And I held the title that he held as well, and I'm inspired by the way he defended his belt, the way he defended it continuously, and ran through so many challengers, and I want to emulate that. I mean, it's a hard ask, but I'm up for the challenge. Yeah, I wish him well in his fight against Uriah Hall. So that's a good fight to send him off in. You know, um, mine would have been a nice one as well, but yeah, yeah, I wish him well.
And once something tell that you are the new Anderson Silva. Do you think you are the new Anderson Silva?
Nope, I don't think I am. The first Israel Adesanya.
Okay, thanks. Have a great fight.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take our next question from Damon Martin. Your line is open.
Izzy, you mentioned, when you ran into Paulo earlier this week, the certain energy you got from that. You've had opponents trash talk you, but you've also had opponents be very respectful towards you. You mentioned Jared Cannonier. Now, do you have a preference when it comes to the kind of opponent? Does one get you more excited than another?
Not really. No, no. This is the interesting about this game is the fact that you have so many different characters, so many different personalities, And I don't really think one gets me more jazzed up than the other. Just you have a badass motherfucker in front of you who's trying to take you out. So that's always enough motivation for me. I don't need any extra. All the extras are just extra. Yeah, I do like extras sometimes. Extra fries, guac. Yeah.
Uh, when the controversy obviously happened over here in the States with the George Floyd killing, obviously you made a strong statement of that, and you talked about, Black Lives Matter and things like that. I hate to bring it to you, but I'm sure you saw this past weekend, Colby Covington had some pretty inflammatory things to say about Black Lives Matter, had some pretty inflammatory and bad comments towards a good friend of yours. What did you make of that, and what do you make of those kind of comments? Kind of hitting the airwaves like that. Not, there's not really been a lot said about it.
I mean, it just shows you the landscape of the media and what it is right now. I made a joke about dropping your mirror like the Twin Towers, and everyone lost their mind. And if I said at the joke, and it was pretty funny, but people took it as like I was being offensive and like digging, but I was making a joke. This guy has directly insulted my culture, my brother, and many other cultures and stuff, and no one says anything. But it just shows you a mirror. It shows you a mirror to you guys. So yeah, I don't really care. Kamaru Usman broke his jaw, so
Does that speak louder to the race issue at large? With here all the time, people say, "Oh, LeBron James, you shouldn't talk about it. Don't bring politics into." You got obviously Colby going to a Donald Trump rally a week before his fight and things like that.
no one bats an eye. Yeah, what is it? Shut up and dribble. That lady said there was a lady that did that. She said shut up and dribble, but then like when it was someone else, then she was like, I think he has a right to express his blah blah blah. Blah. The hypocrisy. Yeah, like I said, it's a mirror, so you should look into the mirror.
And last thing for me is that you've obviously already made a name for yourself in this sport. You got this Puma is a very big deal. And you mentioned it before, keeping a level head, but understanding what comes along with superstardom. Are you feeling that now? I mean, as you sign these bigger deals, as you get these headlining fights, are you kind of feeling that superstardom? And how is life, adjusted for you as you try to stay the same person, but understand that you're going to have that brighter spotlight on everything you say, do.
Oh, did you burp? Oh,
Can you hear me? Sorry.
oh, no, I could hear you. I just thought you burped or like.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I promise I didn't.
Yeah. For me, it's just the same as always, to be honest. Because every fight, it's the same thing. It's always bigger and better and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's never, I've never shied away from it. I've always embraced it because I've prepared myself for this jump before I got in the UFC. I knew this was gonna happen when I got here, and here it is. So I'm just embracing everything and soaking it all in while I can, because when it's all said and done, I want to look back on it and like, yo, I was there, not like the media again. Like sometimes yeah, unfortunately, it's work, but you have to find the silver lining. Yeah, I just enjoy it as I comes vibrant. It's all good. Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Ezekiel Bergonzi. Your line is open.
Hey Israel, how are you?
Very well. What's up? What's up?
How it was it travel to Abu Dhabi?
Traveling to Abu Dhabi was easy. Traveling to Abu Dhabi was a breeze thanks to Emirates. Plug, but we need to talk. Tim, Emirates, talk to them. But yeah. Oh my bad. Fuck. No. No. I know. No. No. I know Etihad. Fuck. Oh damn it! I plugged them wrong on the thing. Damn it. On Etihad. On Etihad. Etihad's like quite new. That's why Emirates has always been there. Yeah. Mic check. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, it was a sweet flight, just being on Etihad Airlines and being able to relax and just not have your legs swollen. You know, as a 6'4" behemoth myself, quite nice to be able to lie down most of the flight.
And do you some Do you change your perception about Paulo Costa when you cross him in person there in Abu Dhabi, or not? You just confirm some feelings you have about him?
Latter, I confirmed some feelings I had about him. It didn't change my perspective of it, but I confirmed because I already knew he wasn't about that life. He's always there when I fight. My last two fights, barking like a dog behind the fence. And I knew that when the fence door opens, he won't be able to back up what he's talking about. So yeah, he was. I was right there. I called him skinny, and even he just giggled and I see you later, bro. Fucked off.
You are the first MMA fighter to be an ambassador for Puma. How do you feel about that, being on these big brands, being sponsored by this? Because, for example, Neymar is right there, so you are now with these big athletes of the world. How do you feel about that?
I think it's awesome. I think it's a good fit for myself because I'm not a guy who is sometimes, as media likes to say, media trained, and I'm very free with my words and my expression of myself. I feel Puma is as well. So the fact that they can see me and accept me as I am, that's beautiful, and I think it's a good fit. Yeah, it's a dope partnership. It's an honor to be working with them, and I can't wait till this weekend. And after I'm done with Costa, we'll have to talk again.
So, in recent comments, Dana White say that he is not into very flashy entrance. So, what shoots are you going to do this time?
I
Because
wasn't I wasn't
you
really
did.
planning on doing anything because fans, but yeah, I don't really care what Dana White's a fan of. I just care about what I like and expressing myself. I wasn't really planning on doing anything. I just wanted to. I was focused on the fight on this one. This is I like the look of this whole island thing. No crowd, everyone streaming worldwide like some dark web fight. So yeah, I had something dark in my head for this fight in general.
So my last question is: you sent a message to your school teacher on social media. How it was
Yeah.
that?
What was that? Repeat that.
How is was that? How do you felt sending a
That was
message to
cool.
your school teacher?
One of my school teachers, he actually used to come to our house when we briefly stayed in Ghana on our transition to New Zealand. He actually came to our house and treated us as well after school. So yeah, for him, it was cool. It was always nice to me. Yeah, he caned us a lot, but he was always a cool teacher. But yeah, it was. I don't know. How did that feel? Wholesome. It felt wholesome.
Thank you and good luck on Saturday.
Cool. Classy. Thank you.
And we'll take our final questions from Alistair Bishop. Your line is open.
Izzy, how are you, sir?
Well, how are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. My first question, Izzy, it's been labeled by many people as a brawler versus technician in this matchup. Do you think there's more to it than that?
A little bit, but because he does have some technique up when he comes hooks, body shots, he has his hands in the right places. But it's just the levels. There's levels to this. There's levels to this, and I just want to showcase that difference.
And after your fight with Romero, do you think this is stylistically the kind of fight you need to remind the world of your skill set?
100%. And I feel like Roy Jones when he said, "Y'all must have forgot," because yeah, people forget, and fans are fickle, sometimes dumb in droves. So I feel like I just have to remind them so they can be like, "Oh my God, oh Israel's so good, wow, amazing." Mind blown by the way I destroy this guy.
Well, one of the things that also keeps being brought up is someone's O's got to go. How important is it to you to keep that undefeated record?
That's like the same thing with the whole title. Like I've said, jump that the title is just a tiara. I just have to grab it along the way on my journey to greatness. So same thing with the being undefeated. It's never really been a thing like, oh, I gotta protect it. It's just a ring. It's a fucking oath. I don't really care about it. But what I care about is whooping ass. So that are doing that.
one of the things we've seen in the last couple of years in the UFC is the massive surge of African fighters. What do you attribute that to? Do you think there's a work ethic hidden behind there, or what would you say?
And African women might be the hardest workers on the planet. Um, I've seen mothers with the baby on their front and on their back carrying a big, like tray of plantains in their neck all day in the blazing heat. That's just one person, and I've seen that work ethic through my people, through my parents. So yeah, it is passed down through us. When it like, I was not the best. I'm the runt of my people, honest. So I wasn't always the hardest worker, but in me, my DNA, I'm bred from that parents, like I said. So yeah, when I know when it's time to work, I work. But like I said, I'm the runt of my people, even physically, not a specimen, the pick of the litter. So I've been back home last year, and I saw people rolling in the ghetto, and they probably don't have the best nutrition, but they're bodied up, years old, bodied up. So I like the fact that Nigeria especially is getting privy to MMA because I'm telling you, man, game over like 50 Cent did when he dropped in the club rap game. It's game over when Nigerians start to.
I remember a while back, being from South Africa, you mentioned there was a time where you were in talks with the EFC here locally to possibly fight in South Africa. Do you see that in your career, in your future, to headline in South, or not say, let's say Africa, headline a UFC card in Africa before you're done with your career?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like honestly, I'd love it to be in Nigeria, and that would be a dream. Someone asked me that question. That would be a dream destination to fight in because I can just imagine the place erupting, a whole stadium just going crazy, knocking out or submitting someone. But the problem is we are our own problem, and I can say that freely, even though some people might not like me saying that. We are our own problem. A lot of red tape in Nigeria, and sometimes a little bit of corruption, which is getting cleaned up, but we are our own problem. So I feel like South Africa might still has its own problems, as every country in the world does. But South Africa has a booming MMA scene, like you said, with EFC, and it would be awesome to be there for a fight. But also, yeah, I think that would be one of the destinations in the future for the UFC when they invade Africa.
And the last one for me, Izzy, what advice would you have for young African fighters trying to make their way to the UFC?
The UFC, young African fighters, find the right trainer. I think I'd say, like, find the right trainer. It's not about getting hit in the other guy back. It's not about how hard you can hit, how tough you are. Those are all great attributes. But finding the right trainer, because I had that in my own career when I was living in Wanganui. My first trainer, I realized he just wanted me to do Muay Thai, and I wanted to do MMA. He didn't even like me doing my first MMA fight. I realized that he tried to shape me to fight like him, his style. And I knew early on that this was not the guy to take me to where I needed to go. So I went out and I seek the right trainer, and I am blessed that I found you, Chairman. So I tell them it'll be hard right now because it's a young sport, Africa in general. But I'd say just seek the knowledge. The internet's your friend. YouTube is your friend. Tutorials, DVDs. A lot of people have them, but finding the right trainer who cares about technique rather than just toughness.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Best of luck. And Africa is behind you.
Like kind next year. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Israel. You're all set.